Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, or Mike if you just prefer. I got a review for you. Like you think you'd get rid of me for a day? Yeah, right. You got a lot coming today, people. With that being said, that doesn't mean you have to watch all my stuff. I do drop a tremendous amount of stuff. I'm not looking for that. I mean, you watch what you want. The way I set up this channel is I'm trying to showcase as many books as I can. I read all these books. I give my honest opinions about the art, these stories overall. I'm not interested in spec. It's nice to kind of, see if this is going to be the next big comic or if this comic would ever make it to the big screen kind of thing. But I'm just not that type of guy. I'm more in for the stories and the art that, adds to the story. So, with that being said, Heavy Metals, Never Never, issue number 3, and still a wonderful, great, dark read. For those of you who don't know, Never Never is basically a dark version of Peter Pan, where Peter Pan is the villain. In this comic, maybe due to copyright laws, he is not named Peter Pan. In this story, he is named Petros. Some of the characters are altered. Like Wendy, for instance, her name is Winter in this book. But overall, the main scheme is there. The main premise, if you've ever seen the Disney version of Peter Pan, which is not the original, and there are many other iterations of Peter Pan. But here on here on the island that he takes Winter to, you can never die. That's kind of the catch of this story. So you have an evil, Peter Pan that brings people to this island. He knows that they can't die, and he kind of uses that to his own advantage. In the last issue, Winter was with the Tiger Clan, with Princess Tiger Lily, and they were, in the midst of being ambushed by Petros and all the people. They're trying to keep Winter safe. Winter eventually falls off a cliff while taking some of the pixie dust, and she's able to fly off to momentarily safety. This page specifically, we catch up with the aftermath of Petros and all his little lost boys inside the camp. Most of them are undead zombies because you can't die, but you also can get pretty messed up. So some of them are pretty disfigured, and you'll see a good example coming up, because even though Princess Tiger Lily does stand up against Petros and she fights him, talks a big game, but in the end, Petros does end up killing her and beheading her, adding to his wall of weirdness that is in his cave back at his base. He kind of has a wall of a whole bunch of dismembered heads that he keeps that are still alive, and they are forever just stuck in that state. It's kind of worse than death. Winter is still trying to escape with some lost boys after her finally catching up to her, because she is having it's like her first time flying. Well, not her first time flying, but her first time flying solo, especially trying to escape and panic mode and this and that. But the lost boys are catching up. And as soon as it looks like they are going to catch up, we see an entrance of a character that has been mentioned, but it's basically this version's of Captain Hook. They do mention him by Hook quite often. He, not like 2 or 3 times, but really he goes by Greaves. And he does have a Greave knife that he uses instead of the hook. But basically he ends up capturing one of the lost boys, and putting the lost, showing Winter and the other lost boys that are kind of watching that he can, he has eliminations of the death part. He basically kind of dismembers the brain, and then after that kind of cuts them into different pieces and burns them and spreads the ashes, and that kind of takes care of the I can't die anymore part. The way he sees, you might say he's a villain in the story, but really he's just somebody that's stuck on this island that has a crew that are really trying to get rid of all the bad elements on the island, which is Petros and the Lost Boys. They're all killers and crazy, and most of them very low intelligence. So Winter is able to continue on trying to get away, and she's just not doing that well with the flying, eventually like knocking herself out. She ends up having I mean, we see Petros and he goes back and, you know, it's a lot of threats, blah, 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 I will get you, you know, and then we catch up with what happened to Winter, and she's basically dreaming, you know, while she's being knocked out, and she's just remembering, you know, moments right before she had chose to leave with Petros, you know, before he tricked her into it. And then we catch up, she's kind of like coming to, and they flip back over to another, it's not a new character that we've seen, but it's the first interaction, and we find out who he is. But the alligator, or the crocodile has been present through the story since the first issue. As soon as Petros brought Winter to Never Never Island, he tried to instantly feed her to the croc, and we did see that something was on the back of the croc, like a person that was tied to the croc. I thought it was like a mount or something like that at first, but it does turn out to be a person, and we do find out that it is Petros' father, and that is like forever his doom, as he is just stuck to the back of the crocodile, you know, constantly drowning, you know, because he can't die, and he just it's horrible. But basically they kind of show you that he has lost all of his intelligence. I mean, it has played a part on his whole mind, body, and soul, being stuck to the back of that crocodile forever. And they don't specify how long it's been. They finally catch up with Winter waking up, and she is meeting Mr. Greaves, and he does have a long drawn out name. It is French, which I did like, because they do a very good job of, you know, in his speech bubbles, his dialogue, of recreating that French accent. Same with his men. They are also, most of them are also French, because they do carry that same accent. They do go into that they believe that there is something important with Winter. There's a reason that Petros wants to capture her, and they don't know what it is. She doesn't know what it is, but at the same time, for some reason, this Captain Hook believes that she is like the end to Petros, you know, the secret weapon that they've been waiting for. Not necessarily a weapon, but maybe like the needle in the haystack that they needed, kind of thing, the bit of information, you know, however you want to take it. But he does tell her that she will need to be trained for the upcoming fight that is to ensue, and he is shown like twice in the book capturing the Lost Boys, and we find out why he was capturing is basically to use in her training methods, but she is specifically going to like fight to the death, you know, because this Lost Boy is being allowed to take off his restraints, and he is handed a weapon and told that he needs to kill her or it's his life, you know, kind of thing. So we're going to see if Winter has it in her to, you know, overcome, you know, she's going to have to want to live, right? I can't say enough about this, you know, I mean, I didn't even mention it, but it is written by Mark McCann, art and inks by Phil Buckenham, colors by Agnesse, Pozza, letters by David Withers, and so far this book, I mean, I know it's kind of hard to find, and it was for me on a couple occasions, but now it's a regular in my pull box, thank God. But it is a phenomenal read. It is dark, but not dark enough where you get, you know, disgusted or anything like that. But it is just the art, the covers, the story. Overall, it's just really good. It's a really good, fun read, you know, and it does have enough mysteries to keep you going from issue to issue. And each issue has delivered a nice amount of ongoing stuff to keep me very interested. But that's my review. I have more coming for you. I will see y'all soon. Bye.